The following table contains data collected in an experiment in which the length of an elastic band is measured when different masses are suspended from it. Graph the data using a graphing calculator. Use a linear regression to determine an equation that relates the length, L, of the elastic band to the mass, m, that is suspended from it. Predict the length of the elastic band if a mass of 330 grams is suspended from it. Using a TI-83 or TI-84 graphing calculator, the first step is to enter the data. To do this, start out by pressing the Stat key. Select option 1 for Edit. We then have to highlight the list labels and press Clear and Enter to clear anything that's already in the lists. Clearing list 1 and then clearing list 2. We can then enter the independent variable data into L1, this corresponds to the mass, and the dependent variable data into L2, corresponding to the length. First of all, L1, and then L2. Note you can use the Enter key or the arrow keys between each entry. We then have to plot the data. The first step here is to clear all equations from the y equals menu. We press y equals, and then simply press Clear if there is anything present as y1, as there is in this case. We then press second function y equals to call up the Stat Plot menu. Second function, y equals. Here we want to select plot 1. We want to then turn plot 1 on, so we hit Enter to select on. We want to select Scatter Plot. In this case, Scatter Plot is already selected. We also want to ensure that XList is equal to L1 and the YList is equal to L2. Again, that's the case already. We then have to select the symbol that we want to use for points. In this case, I will use the symbol already selected. We then want to view the points. To do that, we will press the Zoom button, and then we will select option 9, Zoom Stat. To do that, we'll have to scroll down, and then we hit Enter for number 9. We can then see the points on the grid. We want to now develop a line of best fit. To do this, again, we press the Stat key. In this case, we have to highlight Calc. Here we want to create a linear regression, so we select option 4, linreg ax plus b. We then press Enter. Note we have now the equation of the line y equals ax plus b, where the coefficient a and the constant b have been determined. We then have the equation L, which corresponds to the y, and m, corresponding to the x, of L equals 0.0069 m plus 4.50. We then want to plot this equation. We can press y equals and then enter the equation, or we can call up the equation. To do this, on y1, we press vars. We then choose option 5 for statistics. We have to scroll over to highlight EQ. And then since we're doing a regression, we select option 1, regression equation. If we scroll back, we can then see that we have the equation written as our y1, and it's also graphed. In order to view the graph, simply press the graph key. We now want to predict the length if 330 grams is suspended. To do this, We press second function trace to call the calculate menu. We then choose option 1 for value. We will then enter the value of 330 corresponding to the independent variable and press enter, and it will calculate the value of the corresponding dependent variable, in this case the length. Note the length here is equal to 6.79 centimeters.